Among Enid Blyton's stories, those of an enchanted tree that could take someone to all sorts of magical lands are some of the most celebrated. I was surprised to learn that despite being originally published in 1939 and continually being reprinted, there has never been a film adaptation until now. With the Magic Faraway Tree, director Ben Gregor and writer Simon Farnaby modernized the story in a way that still shows a lot of creativity, although I was curiously more invested in the scenes on a farm than the more fantastical moments. This is very much a British children's fantasy story, and it's presented with a neat amount of charm and whimsy. While the children are naturally the focus, I really got into the story surrounding their parents. Andrew Garfield and Claire Foy are absolutely charming in the roles, with Garfield nicely depicting the father's free-spirited personality, while the character also knows when to be serious and to recognize the issues his family is facing. There are a number of funny interactions between the Thompsons, especially as the children adjust to life on the farm. There's an obvious commentary on how children have become consumed by screens, but it's well implemented and a worthy message to send. Yes, we also saw this depicted in Toy Story 5 a few months ago, but the filmmakers approach it from a different, more comical angle here. It all ties into a message about the excitement of exploring and appreciating the world outside. When the children end up in the magical world, they're greeted by a number of quirky characters. Some do feel like they're one joke, like an angry pixie and a man who wears saucepans. However, other characters, like a fairy named Silky, bring the needed charm and humor. There is creativity in the lands visited by these children and the specific rules pertaining to those worlds. What sets the Magic Faraway Tree apart from other family films of its ilk is the lack of a villain presiding over the whole thing that could destroy the entire enchanted world. Rebecca Ferguson appears as a strict school teacher, and there are some humorous bits where she interacts with the children and their new friends during lesson. However, befitting the episodic structure of the story, she's primarily a threat in that one section, and not a particularly big one. Instead, the problem they have to overcome is a more grounded one on the farm, and I did end up caring about how the Thompsons tried to resolve it. It was a refreshing approach to this kind of story, and Gregor and Farnaby showed the necessity for the Thompsons to succeed at their goal. The Magic Faraway Tree had the right amount of whimsy and charm to win me over and makes for an enjoyable family film. I was invested in what this family was going through, and even the major conflict on this farm, while it feels like something mundane, the filmmakers managed to give it the proper stakes. The script finds creativity and humor in how it tells the story and mixes the fancy elements well with the issues that any family could be dealing with. It is interesting that I did prefer the farm scenes over the parts in the magical tree, but that's a credit to how much it made me care about this family. The film was able to give them individual, compelling personalities, as further helped by the actors, both the young and the established.